Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. I hope you're having a great day. I certainly am not. I've slept on the result. I thought I'll go to bed, I'll sleep, I'll try and rest my mind, recover from what happened yesterday. But I'm still very, very annoyed. I'm very angry. Um, but also, I do think, what did I expect? Liverpool are a world-class team. I expect whenever we play Liverpool or whenever we play a Man City, a Man United, an Arsenal, a Chelsea, whenever we play these teams, I expect to lose. So, I'm not actually that annoyed about losing the game because ultimately, you know, is our season going to be defined on whether we beat Liverpool or not? Not really. Our season is going to be defined, on whether we pick up points against Everton, Southampton, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, teams like that, Crystal Palace as well. Those are the games where, if we don't get points, that's when we should be worrying. Losing to Liverpool is not that embarrassing. For me, it's the way we lost against Liverpool. Individual errors, individual, um, you know, performances from all the players were poor. Sissoko was probably our best player, and he still had a poor game. At least he seems to be the shining star for us at the moment, Musa Sissoko. But ultimately as well, when Mo Salah, Firmino, Mane, when they all have games like they did yesterday, it's very, very difficult to stop them. I watched Match of the Day last night. I was interested to see, what their analysis would be, and pretty much for each goal, they picked out a Watford player who did something wrong, whether that be Adam Messina, Danny Rose, William Schuster-Kong. You know, for at least four of the goals, a Watford player made an individual error. Until we can remove them errors out of the team, it's not going to get any better for us. Newcastle should have beat us by more. Leeds should have beat us by more. This is the first, real battering we've had this season. I'd expect a few more batterings against the likes of City, Chelsea, even Arsenal are quite capable of giving us a battering. So it's concerning. It is concerning. As I said, for me, losing to Liverpool is not that embarrassing. The way we lost was embarrassing. Word on Mo Salah, world class, absolutely phenomenal. Arguably, I'd say the best player I've ever watched live at Vicarage Road. That performance yesterday was absolutely outstanding. Essentially, what Mo Salah did is he kind of pinned himself against Danny Rose. Obviously, as Watford fans, we know Danny Rose isn't the quickest, but that was really, really clever. And I noticed that, I was sitting there watching Danny Rose about 10 minutes in, and Mo Salah constantly just going at him, constantly. He was absolutely I can't speak, relentless, knocking the ball around Rose, beating him for pace. And after that, Rose's his confidence was shot. Salah got the better of him every single time. Adam Messina, absolutely woeful. He's definitely not a Premier League defender. He was absolutely embarrassed yesterday. Ranieri taking him off at half time, which was not surprising. Tom Cleverley come on, did okay. But for me, I'm going to be a bit positive now. I am going to bring some positives into this. Two players for me, three players yesterday were good for Watford. Musa Sissoko I've already mentioned, but João Pedro coming off the bench, really, really promising. He looks superb, and really he should be starting against Everton. And the other player for me who was really good, first of all, João Pedro. Can I just say on João Pedro before I move on to any other players? He is, the potential he's got is ridiculous. And, as soon as he come on the pitch yesterday, he drove us forward. He tried to create something. He had no support from any other Watford players, by the way, but he did try, to create something for Watford. He maybe could have even got a shot off at point. So for me, João Pedro was a positive. I've mentioned Musa Sissoko. The other positive is Jeremy Ngakia. Really, really positive defensive performance from him yesterday. Like Adam Messina, Kiko was absolutely shite, to be honest with you. Absolutely rubbish. You know, we know what Kiko can offer us. You know, Kiko is a superb player for Watford, especially his link up with Ismail Assar. You know, however, he just was not at the races yesterday. I don't know what it was, fitness maybe, or just, you know, the fact that Liverpool were that good. But Jeremy Ngakia come on and he solidified us. He, you know, he drove forward. He was strong defensively. He made good challenges, good tackles. And you know what? Jeremy Ngakia has, you know, staked a place, you know, you know, he's put himself in contention to play in that Everton game, which, you know, for me is good for him. And as I said, João Pedro as well, absolutely superb. Thank you very much for tuning in. I can't speak today. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Doug says, hi, James, 5-0. Wow, I didn't expect that at all. We always have tough games at Vicarage Road, but I didn't think it would be 5-0. I expected to lose, Doug. I didn't expect to lose in that way. You know, the effort, the desire from our players just wasn't there. You know, there's stuff I could say about Ben Foster as well. You know, he had a good game, Foster. He made some crucial saves, but what happened off the field with Foster is what is causing the controversy on social media at the moment. Mr. Testosterone, welcome back to the stream, mates. This game means nothing to me apart from the fact that Nkulu and Sirielta are the best centre-backs at the club. When are they both fit? So Nkulu, obviously Ranieri brought him in on a free transfer. He said he'd probably take about 2 to 3 weeks to get back up to full fitness, which is worrying, obviously, because we need these players available at our disposal now. But that's what you get signing a free agent. And, you know, the club weren't prepared in the summer. We all knew we needed to strengthen in defence, especially at centre-back further. We didn't have the depth in that position. You know, get a couple of injuries and, you know, we're in the shit, really, aren't we? So, you know, it's the club's fault for putting us in this situation with the centre-backs, unfortunately. Charlotte Gibson. Hi, Charlotte. Hope you're doing well. She says Liverpool were fantastic yesterday. Watford were very, very poor. We did finally start playing a 4-0 down. Well, that's it, isn't it? You know, who cares? You know, 4-0 down, we start playing football. I don't care. You know, I want us to start playing that way when it's 0-0. And yeah, you know, if we score, you know, if Liverpool had won 7-1, you know, 6-1, 5-1, 4-1, whatever it would have been, you know, I still would be sitting here saying the same things. So yeah, you know, who cares? You know, we should be playing that way from you know, from the go, really. Mr. Briz, welcome to the stream. We have problems. The only plus is that we know we have problems on the right end of the season. I didn't see any kind of football out of us yesterday until we went 4-0 down. And that's exactly what Charlotte said. You know, why do we start playing properly when we are losing? You know, is the pressure then off? You know, do the players think, well, we're 4-0 down anyway, let's just give it a go? You know, they should be giving it a go from the word go, not when we're 4-0 down. It doesn't make sense to me. I speak about Ben Foster quickly because a lot has happened with him over the past 24 hours in terms of this incident. So basically, if you're not aware, he invited this UFC fighter to the game. I've never heard of him before. He's a Liverpool fan, but Ben Foster put him in the home end. And this guy, basically, this Liverpool fan who Ben Foster invited, he celebrated in the home end. And then there's a video on social media of him getting removed by the stewards. And he basically calls Ben Foster, calls Watford a disgrace for removing him after a Liverpool fan celebrated in the home end. And, you know, to be honest, you know, Ben Foster had an okay game. You know, he made some saves. He made a couple of mistakes. But, you know, he shouldn't be inviting a Liverpool fan to watch Watford in the home end. You know, if I, for example, if I invited a Liverpool fan, so let's say I've got a Liverpool mate, let's say my friend is a Liverpool fan, right? If I invited him to sit where I sit in my season ticket seat and he celebrated and he got removed from the stadium by stewards and security, you know, I would probably have my season ticket taken away from me because ultimately that is against the rules. And, you know, I think people's frustrations with Ben isn't necessarily about his performance. It's just, you know, decent human morals. You know, you don't really, you know, especially considering the guy was a bit of a knob as well. You don't really, you know, you don't sit a Liverpool fan in the home end, especially when, you know, they're absolutely idiots and, you know, they're celebrating. So that's on Ben Foster. Hopefully the club will speak to him about that, but we'll forget about that now. I just thought I'd mention it because a lot of people were discussing that on social media. You know, Ranieri, he made some comments after the game, kind of talking about what he'd seen. He said he learned a lot about his players. I think we all learned a lot about some of our players yesterday, especially, you know, Messina. Really awful. Literally, at times it looked like he couldn't be bothered. You know, he wasn't making runs, sloppy passes. It was just it's just awful. Really, really awful from Adam Messina yesterday. Rudy says there, Danny Rose needs to improve. I think with Danny Rose, I think Danny Rose is a fantastic player. I'd still play Danny Rose for the Everton and Southampton games, but you know, any player coming up against Mo Salah in the form he's in currently is going to struggle. You know, Mo Salah is the best player in the world right now, right? So if me, you, your nan, your mum, your dad, whoever it may be, if we were trying to mark Mo Salah, we could not do it. So I think we got to have sympathy for Danny Rose. It's evident. It's been evident through the whole season that, you know, he's lost a lot of pace. He's not, you know, he's obviously not physically fit yet. He's not physically sharp, but he still offers more in that left back position than Adam Messina does. And I think that's the most important thing. You know, is Danny Rose better than Adam Messina at left back? Yes, he is. You play Danny Rose, and that's kind of where you know, I'm sitting on this situation. But yeah, Rudy, he did not have a great game yesterday. I'm sure he'll want to forget about that. You know, where do we go from here? You know, wrapping up the stream, you know, where do Watford go from here? As I said, I expect to lose to Liverpool. I don't expect to lose in the manner we lost yesterday. But every season we've been in the Premier League, we get a battering from someone, whether it's Chelsea, City, United, Arsenal, you know, whoever it may be. We do every time. For some reason, we seem to get battered by one of these top six teams. And, you know, hopefully it doesn't happen again. I thought the setup was wrong. I thought the five at the back was strange. You know, Danny Rose playing left centre back was an odd decision. But, you know, if Ranieri wanted to play that five at the back, you know, he's got to have the centre backs available to do it. He didn't have the centre backs available. Danny Rose deputised there. Absolutely rubbish. You know, I think Messina and him swap round at times. You know, didn't work. The five at the back didn't work. You know, Kuchka, I've not mentioned him yet. Rubbish. You know, he should not be starting games. I don't know why he's still starting games for us. He's slow, sluggish. Doesn't look bothered half the time. I was watching back, you know, Mo Salah's really, really good goal. You know, he could have closed him down better. Didn't. Just stood there with his arms behind his back, and you know, Mo Salah obviously scored the goal. And you know, he's lazy as well. You know, is there a reasoning behind that? Fitness again? Who knows? You know, I'm not at the training ground every day. I'm only speculating, but he's crap. You know, I'm just kind of angry. You know, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. You know, because as I said, I expect us to lose against Liverpool. If we come up against a City, a Chelsea, a United, and we end up coming away with something, that is a huge positive because I'm not expecting to win them games. As I said earlier, and I'll keep repeating myself, we have to be beating the likes of Norwich, Newcastle, Leeds, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Burnley. These are the teams we should be beating. We should not get angry about this result. What we should get angry about is the manner of the defeat and some of the individual performances and the effort levels from the players. And that's kind of where I am sitting on this result today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to discuss. I don't think there is. Just know I'm very, very devastated by that. And yeah, you know, Liverpool having something like 85% possession in that first half just absolutely it's crap. It's absolutely crap. There we go. We move on to Everton. Of course, we'll be covering the game here on the Watford Way. I'll be back next Saturday with a live match watch along for the Everton game, and obviously during the week as well. I'll be back here talking to you guys for our live match preview. So join me for that. Hopefully, it'll be a lot better than the Liverpool game was. Fingers crossed. But we do have the return of Abdoulaye Doucouré and Richarlison, so that is not going to bode well, is it? Yeah, you can just imagine Richarlison or Doucouré scoring a goal already. But yeah, we'll discuss that later in the week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. I hope you're all trying to forget about the result. I certainly am trying to do my best, but of course, I thought I'd come and speak to you guys today about it. Keep an eye on our socials for any updates, or tweet out, post when we're going to go live here on YouTube. Obviously, we'll post all the latest Watford news, transfer news, etc. on our social media pages as well. So make sure you follow them. The links to them are in the description. Please like the video. Please subscribe as well. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, I'll catch you all for another video or stream very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.